Good morning, students. We are on the continuation part of the same unit, that is Introduction to Statistics. So in last class we have seen all the calculations, then frequency distribution, then in calculation we have seen the mean, median, mode. So today we will be seeing the same about the calculations, that how you are going to calculate your data and how you are going to find whether there is any error or some mistakes in your sample finding or data collection or not. So today's topic is measures of dispersion. So let's start with the introduction. Measures of dispersion. The scatter of the values about their center is called dispersion, and any measure indicating the amount of scatter about the center is called a measure of dispersion. The individual observations of a variable tend to scatter about their center. The highest degree of concentration is that all the observations are of same size. The scatter in this case would be 0 and mean will be exactly same as the individual values of the variable. So your measure of dispersion means about the center point from where everything starts and get collected at the same point. So you can say when you are going to start your research, you all start from a point and then you proceed, you keep on moving by collecting your data, but at the end you come on to the same point and finish it with the end of your collected data. That is what measures of dispersion actually means. We will see the types. So there are two types of measures of dispersion. One is absolute measure of dispersion and the second is relative measure of dispersion. So we will see what is absolute measure of dispersion. The absolute measure of dispersion measures the variation present among the observations in the unit of the variable or square of the unit of the variable. So this absolute measure means whenever you are collecting any data from the observations of your variable. Observations of your variable is nothing but your characteristics, what you are going to find. You can say you have studied your like height, weight, not height, weight, size, behavior, characteristics, all that things when you're going to observe and you are noticing, and or you are doing the square unit of those variables that are considered under the absolute measures. Then we will see the relative measure of dispersion. The relative measure of dispersion measures the variation present among the observation related to their average. It is expressed in the form of ratio, coefficient or percentage. It is independent of the unit of measurement. So in relative measure of dispersion, you are seeing the average value, whatever there is common for all the point, and that you are seeing in the form of ratio, coefficient or percentage. Then this types of measures of dispersion is divided into 4. You can say you have seen there are 2, absolute and relative. So again absolute has 4 types. So this is range, quartile deviation, mean average deviation, variance and standard deviation. Then your relative dispersion is divided into 4. Coefficient of range, coefficient of quartile deviation, third is coefficient of mean deviation, fourth is coefficient of variation. So you have seen all these 4 terms are almost same. So we'll be seeing the range. If x1, x2, then xn are n observations of a variable, x with x1 and xn are the smallest and largest observations respectively. This is the range. Then its range is defined as range xn minus x1. So here you can say you are going to find the middle value, what is the actually range from one point to another point. You can take, for example, you have taken 10 toffees and cost of 10 toffees is 30 rupees, and if it is said you have to find the cost of one toffee, so obviously you are going to divide that by 30 amount 30 you are going to divide by 10 to find the cost of 1. So same here they are going to find the distance, so they have to minus the largest from the smallest to find out that middle value, that is the range they are going to find. Then we'll see the example. The following data set shows the weekly TV viewing times in hours. Calculate range and range coefficient of variation. So this is the example they have given and the numbers they have present. So they have used this formula range xn minus x1. So they are using those time. You can see the highest number is 66 and the smallest number is 5 in this values. So they are doing minus and they have found the 61 hours. Then they are finding in the semi range. For semi range they are dividing it by 2. Mid range they are adding and dividing it by 2. So these calculations you can see and you can practice. Then we will move for the quartile deviation. If x1, x2, xn are n observations of a variable x, with q1 and q3 are their first and third quartiles respectively, then their quartile deviation is as. So for quartile deviation, your formula is IQR is equals to q3 minus q1. Then next one is SIQR. SIQR means S is semi. So semi quartile deviation they are calculating. So QD is equals to IQR divided by 2 is equals to Q3 minus Q1 by 2. Then you see here the examples how they have calculated. You will better understand when you are going to calculate. Then we will move to the mean deviation. Mean already you have seen how you are going to calculate the values. So if x1, x2, xn are an observations of a variable x with m as their average, then their mean deviation denoted by MD is defined as. So see this formula how these values are defined. Then calculation you can see here they have kept the x value, x mean value, then x minus mean value, then x mean, again x minus mean. So these values are calculated. You can see the example here properly. Calculate MD and coefficient of MD. So here they have kept the formula and using those chart they have calculated here. Then variance. The variance is defined as the mean of the square deviations from mean. The population variance is denoted by sigma 2, where sample variation is denoted by S2 and defined as for group data. For means here variations you can calculate with the two formulas for population and for sample. Mainly variation is used to show the differences and it is always the square of the mean. So this formula you are using, there are separate formulas based on your sample and population. You can see here the formulas clearly. Then we will see the standard deviation. Standard deviation, the positive square root of the variance is called standard deviation. It is denoted by S or sample. Then we will see formula. It is very much more straightforward to use the shortcut formula given below. Here it is a shortcut formula to calculate your deviation. Then we will see the question. In question there are x and x square value. So x square values are calculated. Then using the formula they are using s equals to square root x square by n, then minus x by n whole square, and they are substituting those formulas on the given formula and then they are calculating. Then the formula that we have just discussed are valid in case of raw data. In case of group data, that is a frequency distribution, each square deviation round the mean must be multiplied by the appropriate frequency figure. So these formulas are given in case of there is your raw data present. You can see the examples and can proceed with the calculation. So these are the formulas given for the calculation. Now we will see the coefficient of variation. The standard deviation is an absolute measure of dispersion. Its relative measure of dispersion is called coefficient of variation and is defined by SV is equals to SD by mean into 100. So this is a formula for calculating your SV. So your CV is nothing but standard deviation of your absolute measure of dispersion. So here measures what your coefficient of variation does. Measures relative variation always in percentage, shows variation relative to mean, is issued to compare two or more sets of data measured in different units. So it has also two formulas, population and sample. You can see here the examples, and you can then calculate your own, or you can practice by doing the questions present here in the examples, and you will understand how to substitute the values. You can see here in the example it has given a class intervals, then f values, x minus x bar values, x minus x bar whole square values, then they have calculated. So for this you have to first prepare this chart. So you can see here there are class intervals value is given, frequency is given, x values is given. So to then x minus x bar value is given. So when your x minus x bar value is given, you can easily calculate the x minus x bar whole square. After that you can, when your x minus x bar whole square value has come, so you can calculate the f bracket x minus x bar whole square. So just you have to multiply by x minus x bar whole square into frequencies, that is 1. So and so on you can proceed. Then you can substitute the value into the formula. This formula you can see here, x square is equals to sigma f x minus x bar whole square by n. So you can substitute the values and you can calculate. That's all for the today's class. Thank you to all the students.